schematic design for it, and we thought it was very interesting. We wanted to share it with you. It's the Memphis Islamic Center. And the Memphis Islamic Center, they needed a place for their community to practice their faith. They wanted to make sure that the whole community felt welcome to this facility. Now, there's a problem there because not everybody is comfortable with Islam. Some people are actually quite afraid of it. And as Yoda says, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. Now, prove Yoda right, all we have to do is look at a few people and a few situations around the country like these. Now, the one on the right is just down the street. It's at Murfreesboro. We wanted to avoid this kind of thing. And honestly, these people, they're representing Christianity, but as a Christian, I'm sick of this representation of Christianity. So far is Heartsong, which is right across the street from MIC, and they actually had this joint Thanksgiving feast with the Memphis Islamic Center, and I can't think of a more perfect American dream scenario than two different faiths coming together to celebrate the nation where these two people are allowed to worship in the way that they wish. Now, I'm excited about being involved with their design process, and so we're trying to use the building to help people move through this kind of thought process. Unconscious ignorance, conscious competence, unconscious competence. Basically, you go from not knowing anything to being comfortable with your new neighbors. Now, this is difficult, so how do you do this with a building? First we wanted to start talking about what are the design traditions of Islam. Now, this one shows different Islamic mosques all over the world, and you see Islam builds in the here and the now. They take indigenous designs and they use those to build their mosques. This is very different from American architecture, which the immigrants tend to bring their designs with them over to the U.S., and then in the great mosh pit of ideas that is America, new ideas are formed through the banging together of all these situations. So already we've got a problem with how we're going to figure out how to work out the design. Now, on top of that, we have everyone from all over the world coming to worship at MIC. So, since they're Muslim, all of their cultural symbols are also their religious symbols, and so we had to find a way to distill out all of the different symbols that they had and find common ones so that they could all come together. And we also tried to find common cultural symbols. So we found fractals. Fractals are basically the geometry of nature. The mosque domes are on the left, and you can see the natural fractals. And there was actually a song written about fractals, about the Mandelbrot set, which was described in the 1970s. Mandelbrot said, "You're a Rorschach test on fire, you're a Day-Glow pterodactyl, you're a heart-shaped box that springs and wire, you're one badass fucking fractal." And so here we have calligraphy, which calligraphy is writing that transcends language. You can actually tell stories with calligraphy. You can see the elephant down in the right-hand corner says, "This morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. I have no idea how he got into them." So, I presented all of these ideas to the leadership of MIC, and we developed these images, and they said it's beautiful, and I presented it to over 1,000 Muslims at a fundraiser, and they hated it. And at least the traditional people hated it. And they said, "We want arches." And I said, "I don't recommend arches." And they said, "We're going to donate $2 million if we get arches." And I said, "Okay, I'll see what I can do." And we worked into that. So the exterior is the front of the community. And that's that first section where you try to say, you know what, maybe you don't know everything about these preconceived notions about Muslims. And so, but hopefully we'll move from unconscious ignorance to conscious ignorance. You will know that you don't know everything. And so this is a little walkthrough to see how you enter the site, and you can see these arms, which are fork shears that are reaching out saying, "Hey, we're open, come on in." You come in and get inside, and then you can see the square fractal design and the calligraphy around the outside. And so, basically this is the floor plan, and we have what you're just looking at. You're looking at it from here, that's that entry hall, there's all the classrooms and stuff, and here's the big banquet hall, holds 3,000 people, and then we have a school on the back, and then of course everything's all interconnected with these pieces here. Now, we're going to walk into that space, and this is a space where hopefully people walk in, and the basic structure of Islam will be shown in here, and you have, along these blank walls, eventually we'll have all sorts of museum quality attractions. And then this is a prayer hall. Now, I've studied a lot of the world's religions, and I've found commonality, and one of them is the 99 names of Allah, and that's what you see along here. And a few of them, the most compassionate, the protector, the creator, the provider, the just, the all-embracing, the all-peaceful. My hope is that people come in here and begin to think that these people are not alien, that they are their neighbors, that make a connection through these common symbols. So this is the banquet hall, and everyone is welcome here. Anybody can come in and rent this place. You don't have to be a member. You can have a wedding here, you can have a party here. I don't think they allow alcohol, but you can have you can have a business meeting here, kids can play here, you can make a rumpus room or whatever. And now, this is the mihrab, which is where the prayer is. That's the mihrab in the back, and that's the mosque. I often get asked, why women or men are separated, and so note that typical praying positions, Muslims pray very close together, and it has been found that a man praying behind a woman is often distracted from his prayers. So I showed all this to them, and this time they loved it. And so, back to my song, the Mandelbrot set, your Rorschach test on fire, your Dayglow pterodactyl, your heart-shaped box springs and wire, your badass fucking fractal, and you're just in time to save the day, sweeping all our fears away. You can change the world in a tiny way. Come on, change the world in a tiny way, and we can change the world in tiny ways. And if a butterfly can theoretically flap its wings and kill off all the dinosaurs, we can take risks, build relationships, learn to respect our neighbors, learn to love our neighbors, and eventually, world peace.